From a 62-year-old pred whipping out his junk for a kid.
Not wearing any underwear?
To a monster torturing a girl until her face is unrecognizable.
We have a med unit coming out to check you out to make sure you're okay. Obviously, because
These are predators who actually got caught in the act. Starting with 62-year-old Alan from Round Rock, Texas, who walked into a house expecting to meet a young boy named Ryan from Grindr.
This is Alan.
The moment he stepped inside the boy's house, he unzipped his pants and exposed himself, fully ready for what he thought was coming. But what he didn't know was that he was walking straight into a sting operation, and Kai was about to catch him with his junk out.
Whoa, what's going on here, my man?
The old man takes about 2 seconds to start crying about his life. He tells the guys his daughter died last week and how he hasn't slept in days.
When we're coming from a place of grief and loss, how do you think that led us to meeting with him here today?
Now don't be fooled. This guy does not care about his daughter. He'd been texting the boy for a while now, even offered to exchange some explicit jobs.
If you promise not to tell your mom or anyone, we can trade head jobs.
And admitted that he liked Ryan's young age, even though it was against the law. Even when Kai read Alan all the text out loud, Alan still kept denying it. When this man walked in, he had a bag on him, and you'll be shocked to learn what was inside of it. Lotion, whiskey, butane, a knife, and drug paraphernalia in his sock. By the looks of it, he was planning on doing meth here. It was time to call the police. Alan was arrested that night for attempted solicitation of a minor and drug possession. While this old guy got put away, preds don't always need the internet to target children, and this next guy is a prime example of that. A mother reported that her little daughter was pulled into a store's bathroom by a young man. Her son was the one who saw it happen and ran to tell her. When the mother rushed over, she found her daughter inside the bathroom, crying and trying to get out with a man named Andrew behind the door.
My daughter was apparently attempted to be pulled into the bathroom by a young man here.
That was her story. Andrew, on the other hand, had a whole different story to spin. He claimed the girl walked in on him using the bathroom. He said he freaked out, tried to slam the door. It hit her, and he grabbed her shoulder to push her out. That's why she cried. He swore it was an accident.
When I was using the bathroom, the little girl walked in on me.
Upon hearing this, the staff checked security cameras to see who was telling the truth. And sure enough, his movements lined up with the family story, not his.
He's looking for the little girl right now. He just saw the little girl walk back over there.
Andrew was already on probation, so he begged not to go to jail, swearing that he was telling the truth.
Please, I swear to God, I swear to God, I swear to God!
But if you have any doubts that this man did what he was accused of, Andrew was arrested last year at the cinema for choking a little girl and trying to drag her into the bathroom. That's the reason he was on probation. He was taken away in cuffs this time and later got sentenced to up to 15 years in jail. After that kind of public arrest, you'd think creeps would stay away from busy places. But malls turn out to be another spot where they get caught in the act. Mall security got a call one day from a young woman who reported a man secretly taking photos of children inside the mall. She said he was snapping pictures of little girls from behind, focusing on their rear ends.
Why are you recording in this mall? The same way other people do, sir. It looked like you were taking pictures of a bunch of girls from behind. I send the guys. That's what I send. Most of those girls were probably on their age. No, hell no, brother.
When he was asked why he was recording, the excuse he gave the cops was absolutely sick. He claimed that he was taking pictures of girls to send to his friends in prison. He says he took photos of everybody like others do and sent them to friends in prison to show how women dress out here half naked. Absolutely vile and disgusting.
No, I would for my friends in prison. They want to see how the world, the way they dress now is what I was showing them, how women are here dressed half naked.
Police detained him for disorderly conduct, taking unauthorized photos of someone's rear or pelvis without permission. He argued it was for his friends who couldn't have sex because they're locked up. For some reason, this man didn't understand how wrong that was.
You understand what I'm saying? You don't have my permission to take a picture of my rear end.
He ended up getting a citation for misdemeanor disorderly conduct and a mandatory court date. He was released from the mall and banned for life. Now, getting banned from spots like that might stop some people, but this next guy took it a step further by secretly recording in the most private place possible. On December 30th, 2025, in Mentor, Ohio, officers rushed to a mall after a father reported suspicious behavior in the public restroom. His young sons had gone in, and a man followed closely behind.
But you don't stand at a urinal like this, especially right next to a child.
The father described the first incident like this. His youngest used the urinal. The man stood next to him, phone out at an odd angle with what looked like a camera app open. The man never seemed to urinate, he just lingered, then bolted when he was noticed. The dad's theory is confirmed when the cops confront the creepy man, and the first thing he does is try to delete pictures.
Hey, you're not gonna delete anything. Stop. Give me your phone.
The officer stopped him, suspecting he was deleting evidence, and the man, later identified as Josh, admitted it was a little true that he had been recording.
It may be true, a little bit, yeah.
It's a little true? Okay.
Upon hearing this, the officer read him his Miranda rights, and he was taken into custody. He was later charged with felonious voyeurism for secretly recording in a place with expectation of privacy. Now, we all know strangers' phones can uncover a lot of dark stuff, but sometimes the evidence is found in the most trusted individual's phone. In the quiet coastal town of Oahu, Washington, with just about 1,000 residents, Jeffrey Archer was the volunteer fire chief everyone trusted. But investigators now say Archer used that trust. Children for over a decade. He gave victims everything from money, dope, to drinks after the acts just to keep them quiet. But one child later shared that the abuse happened so often, they couldn't even count the times. At least 3 victims were identified with ages ranging from about 2 to 14. 2 of them were literally cousins. The only reason this case finally broke was because reports of foul play reached all the way to the Pacific County Sheriff's Office. In January 2025, detectives searched Archer's home and seized his phone. As expected, forensic analysis revealed heinous material containing little ones.
One victim said Archer raped them every weekend over a 3-month period in 2019.
Archer, now 43, was arrested that night and booked into Pacific County Jail. He faces more than 30 felony charges, including 21 counts of first-degree child, 10 counts of first-degree rape, and several for possessing and distributing inappropriate material. At his first court appearance, prosecutors requested $1 million bail, citing the danger he posed to children and the risk that he might flee. But the judge ended up setting bail at $500,000 and issued a strict no-contact order with the victims.
Archer's currently in jail on $500,000 bond, and the city says immediately after his arrest, he was placed on administrative leave with an assistant chief taking over on the interim basis.
Now, after hearing about this guy who used his hero status to hurt kids, it's hard to imagine worse, but this next story will just truly horrify you. On October 16th, 2023, Akron, Ohio police rushed to a home just off West Wilbeth Road. Neighbors called after hearing screams, shouting, and what sounded like an ongoing assault from their garage.
Keep everything out of your hands.
Everybody be able to get somebody's up top.
Officers arrived at around 9 a.m. The residents confirmed the man was yelling at her to shut up or he would beat her. They knew for certain a slim, injured woman was inside. So police forced entry, and this is how they found the suspect.
Thompson? How far away is that?
She seemed badly beaten with facial injuries, black eyes and bruises everywhere. The girl was freezing and in shock. The victim was identified as 23-year-old Chloe Jones. But how did she end up here? On October 12th, she accepted a ride from 33-year-old William Mozingo, someone she knew briefly, but instead of taking her home, he drove her to the garage, and for 4 days he beat her with a baseball bat, doused her with gas, threatened her life repeatedly, and held her captive. This is the face of the man who did this. He shows absolutely no remorse upon getting caught.
You got something in your mouth? Open your mouth.
When Chloe later spoke out, She said it was petrifying and she feared for her life countless times.
Terrifying, like being in fear for your life, like countless of times I can even count of like how many times he's threatened my life.
The saddest part, however, is that William already had a long history of similar crimes. In 2011, he was jailed for abduction. In 2014, he got 9 months for another abduction. In 2017, he held a woman at knife point in a Walmart restroom. Now, out on bail, he had abducted Chloe, beating and threatening her for 4 days. Once he was presented in court, the judge sentenced him to up to 31 years in jail. Huge shout out to the couple who originally called 911. Without them, the suffering would have continued until the unthinkable happened.